Also, real quick, I want to say we don't pay enough respect to Wale. I know that's random.
Random as hell.
But it made me think because I was at the gym and I was listening to his new album. Did you know Wale dropped a new album?
I didn't know. Nope.
Wale dropped a new album, you guys. If you don't know Wale, he is a DMV rapper. He's kind of more poetic to me, honestly, but he just dropped an album on Friday. And
that's why he's been out and about.
People are starting to compare him, saying like, oh, Wale is everything y'all thought J. Cole was, which I don't appreciate the comparisons. I don't appreciate the comparisons, but shout out to Wale because he definitely has like people say he make music for the women.
Well, he does make music for
Lauren.
Women. Yeah, I would say he definitely does make music for women. But honestly, I've always said that Wale was dope. I remember when he came out in like 2008, 2009, super dope rapper. I just think that we had this conversation actually off air, but I think Wale never got his fair shake. You know, because he was signed to an artist, which is one of the worst things you can ever do as an artist yourself. Never sign yourself to another artist because more than likely you're never going to be the main or top priority. When Wale was signed to WMG, Maybach Music, okay? It was about Rick Ross and Meek Mill. And I don't know how Wale even saw himself fitting on that roster because I personally saw his music being much bigger and better.
I feel like sometimes artists just want an opportunity, you know, and it's like it might not fit what they're trying to do or they're hopeful that it will. Yeah. Shout out Wave Chappelle. Wave Chappelle, I feel like was one of them because, you know, when he was signed to Gotti's label, CMG, and then eventually he was like, listen, this isn't really a fit for me and what I'm trying to do and, you know, my vision for my career. So I'm going to just, you know, dip out and do it independently. Maybe that was a situation with Wale, but he was more locked in. But I like Wale. I was listening to some of his old albums too, like after the new album, you know, went off and I went to like Ambition and all that and nothing, what was it called? Nothing something. Was the same? No, that's Drake.
Shout out to the Wave he won. Shout out to Wave Chappelle, man. One of the dopest MCs here in Milwaukee for sure. He just had a few articles go up about him on TMJ4 and things of that nature. But you know, I've never got a chance to ask him this, although I do see the gentleman around from time to time. But
put your mic up.
I would actually like to ask Wave Chappelle, would he actually still like to be on the label currently right now? All right, because the only reason I'm saying this is because I personally don't believe that Yo Gotti was ready to be the boss that he needed to be at the time of him having a Wave Chappelle. Like Wave Chappelle is a dope MC, bar none. Okay, I'm standing by that. However, CMG as it is today, having Glorilla on the roster and a few other rappers, Moneybagg Yo, I think Wave Chappelle would have done great had he had just stayed on the label for another decade. That's my opinion. Sometimes you need to sit in the cut and just wait and see things out.
Nah, because
that's my opinion.
No, because I feel like they could have stifled his growth and what he wanted for the vision of his own career and how he wanted to creatively express himself. Because you still don't really see a lot of, to my knowledge, who on CMG really has a style like a Wave. I feel like they still could have pushed him to the side in a sense. I don't know if that's initially what was going on. I think it was more so his own decision, but yeah.
I remember talking to Wave Chappelle. He said it was his own decision to move off of CMG.
Right.
But at the same time, sometimes I think to myself, when it comes down to Wave Chappelle being on there, he could have been a dope songwriter. He had already given Yo Gotti great ideas and concepts for songs. You know, Who knows? But at the same time, shout out to Wave Chappelle and everybody in Milwaukee grinding it out and putting the city on the map. We really need you guys.
Yeah, that connection is still there, I'm sure. Probably could hit him up anytime and be like, hey, bro.
Hey, for real. And then,
hey, let's get it, bro.
Facts, you know, because like at the end of the day, like it would have been dope if like, because right now how Wave Chappelle goes about wearing the Carhartts and things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like what if he would have did the Carhartts with CMG? I'm just throwing it out there. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
Shout out Carhartt too.
All I know is when it comes to these different artists, just never sign to another artist. Whether it's Kanye West, whether it's a Lil Wayne.
Honestly, though, I feel like, and y'all let me know in the chat, you know, how y'all feeling about just labels in general today, because I almost feel like labels could potentially be a waste of your time. But it just depends on who you are and the type of creator you want to be. Yeah. Because if you are somebody who kind of wants to be able to control your own music and you have a push in it, kind of like a Lil Russell, right? A Lil Russell or like a Chance the Rapper, where you know for a fact that with your music, you're going to push it hard regardless. You're going to market it hard regardless, and you want to keep that creative freedom. I think it might not be super beneficial for you to join a label because you will be stifled and you will be kind of controlled. But if you're somebody who, you know, you don't really care about that, you just want to make some music, you just want to kind of have everything paid for you and you be a star, then maybe the label route is for you. But it seems like nowadays having more creative freedom and being independent is almost the best way, because then you control all your masters, you get to control how you want to express your music when it comes to music videos, creativity. How often you want to drop, what you want to drop, how long you want the songs to be. It's just a lot of control.
You know,
that's why major artists now are trying to be more independent. You got Sierra now; she owns her masters, I think.
Just because you own your masters doesn't mean that you're doing
she's independent
anything
as well.
Good with it. Because like okay, look. And everybody's talking about, you know, hey, record labels are bad. Let's just be independent. But like, come on now, you need a bit of both. Like, you need a piece of the machine and you need a piece of yourself. It's kind of like this, right?
Why?
Okay, well, let me break this down. Okay, so if you, I guess it comes down to your own goals of what you really want to do. But if you're looking to be this big old star and that's what you're looking for, then you need the machine behind you, you know. And sure, it does come with a bit of structure, if you will. They want you to, oh, I got to go to New York today. I have to go to Atlanta today. Or you can just sit in your backyard and do what you want to do if that's what you want to do on the independent route. But I want to put this analogy out there, though. If you're a person who sells cookies, right, you can sell cookies on your block. You'd be like, you know what? I just like baking cookies. This is what I like to do. I like to bake cookies. I'm selling them on this corner. I'm selling them on that corner. That's just what I like to do. But I really want to be the best cookie maker of all time. Like that's my goal. I want to be the best cookie maker of all time. You can do it on your corner and possibly live out a happy life. However, once you get that machine behind you that can actually produce it, put it into major stores for you, that will push you to the next, or it'll push you to exactly where you're trying to go if you want to be the best. So what I'm saying is I don't believe that record labels are bad, all right? I believe that you need a bit of both if you're going to win. Master P was essentially an independent record label. His No Limit Records is essentially an independent record label. They basically just had a distribution deal through Priority Records, and they did what they wanted to go ahead and do, right? But at the same time, we know who Master P is. Same thing with Cash Money. Everybody want to be Baby and Birdman and all these people or whatever, but Cash Money had one of the best record deals of all time, and they did it how they wanted to do. So what I'm saying is you can still hold on to your creative integrity with the labels. It doesn't mean that you just have to be butt broken by the labels just by signing to a label. It's all, but at the end of the day, like you said before, it comes down to what you really want to gain from it. Like La Russell, right? La Russell can continue to do what he wants to do and develop and cultivate the community that he is building. That's cool and all, but up until, you know, he decides to get behind a big machine or partner with a machine, he will never really get the glitz and glamour that I believe La Russell can get and possibly is actually yearning for. But that's just
see, that's what I disagree with, because I don't think people need the labels anymore. Okay. You bringing up people back in the day. I'm talking about 2025 and in the future. Like, how important will labels honestly be when you have a lot of artists who don't even have trust in their labels? They calling out their labels all the time for how they mismanage them. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the future of where music is to have all creative control of whatever it is that you want to do, and you might not necessarily need a label to do it. Now, I would say, or would you say that Chance the Rapper was the biggest independent?
He was never independent. Yeah, that was the marketing.
In the beginning, when he was doing all that guerrilla, who was he with?
Okay, so in the very beginning, Chance the Rapper sure was independent.
Because he claimed, he be saying he's independent.
Yeah, he claimed to be independent. That was marketing, all right? But I would say when he was first doing his thing out of Chicago, that was his independent grind. Mm-hmm. But by the time we started hearing, what was the record with him, 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne?
I don't remember.
You don't want no problems with me. Yeah. You don't want no problems. He was signed by that time.
To who?
I forget the exact record label he was signed to at the time. But what I'm saying is, once the record label started to realize that saying that, hey, I'm independent, could actually be used as some marketing ploy to get your community around you a little bit more, that's when they started to allow their artists to say, well, I'm independent. And now that's where you see 10 years from now, or from at that point in 2015, a lot of artists are like, oh man, I'm independent. But they have backing backing from record labels.
Are you talking about like a major label or just like a smaller one?
I'm talking about a major label.
Because even when I look it up on Google, it says Chance the Rapper is an independent artist and does not have a major label.
Maybe currently right now. At that time, he was definitely signed, bro. Just hey, do your research.
Because he said, okay, I'll do some more. I'm gonna do some more research on it.
In 2 seconds, okay?
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying
even
is,
today, he be. Regardless, I think there can be a very big artist in the future who doesn't necessarily have a machine behind them. You know what I mean? Like that's more so what I'm saying, because you see what the machine gets you. Yeah, it gets you like a Drake, and now Drake is over here trying to sue the machine that was pushing him.
That's because he's white. Okay, that's why Drake is trying to sue. He lost the battle. You know, what do you be calling that boy? Lawbury now? They call him Lawbury.
I'm just saying.
Lawbury got an album coming out too, which I can't wait to hear.
So who you want to sign to?
Who do I honestly, you know?
Or do you want to stay independent?
So when I first began my music journey, I definitely wanted to sign to Bad Boy. All right, I wanted to be a part of Bad Boy Records. Okay, shout out to Trey Tay. Bad Boy. Notorious B.I.G. was my favorite rapper and still is one of my favorite rappers of all time, besides myself. But I definitely wanted to sign to Bad Boy. From Bad Boy, for me, it went to Rockefeller. From Rockefeller, it went to Good Music. And after that, I kind of looked around and was like, you know what? Especially at this point in time, I wouldn't necessarily want to sign to any one of those artist-ran labels. And that's my point that I was saying before. You don't ever really want to sign to an artist because you will never, ever really be the focal point of that label, okay? But if I was to sign to anybody, it would have to be like UMG. I'd have to like do a direct deal with Universal Music Group. That's where I want to go. Because they got the biggest bag, got the biggest influence, and they would know how to put me in the right direction to win. Well, within a partnership deal, I would say.
Okay, lastly, before we...
I don't know if I'm with the distribution deal that Roc Nation just talked about.
I was just about to bring that up. So before we go to something you say, I did want you to bring that up real quick and explain to me why the new distribution deal with Roc Nation has is making headlines right now, because I feel like that's what a lot of artists are talking about.
I can tell you in one word: Jay-Z.
But I'm saying, what is it though? What is the distribution deal?
I guess we can talk about it in something juicy.
I got other stuff for something juicy. You want to talk about that too? We'll just start with that.
Okay.
We'll start with that, but make it quick because I got other stuff for something juicy. So make sure you guys keep it locked. We're about to take a little pause for the cause, a little 3-minute juice break. Don't go anywhere, you guys. We got more conversations coming up next, especially something juicy.